Hello, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys me making my Halloween costume and then getting ready for Halloween. This year for Halloween, I made sure to figure out my Halloween costume a little earlier than a week before Halloween like I usually do, and then I don't have enough time to get stuff delivered. Stuff is sold out. I end up having to get cheap stuff and it never turns out how I want. I already did multiple other costumes that are going to be in a different video that was probably already posted, but this is going to be my actual costume that I'm going to be wearing on Halloween if I even go anywhere. And last year I was a witch and I was looking on Pinterest. I love the Kendall Jenner Black Witch. This is like one of my favorite costumes. I don't know why. I don't want to do the same exact thing. I came across this picture. I want that, but I knew I was going to have to make some of that costume. I headed my way over to Joann's because I knew I needed some fabric. This is actually Kaylee from the future and I'm refilming this because I lost all my data on a hard drive, deleted the original clip off of the SD card. This clip is completely gone. This is what we have to work off of, and we're gonna add stuff to this to make it into something that looks like this costume. I have this white dress. Ignore the sleeves. It goes to the floor, and I thought this was a perfect base to add everything onto. What I need to add is sleeves, a corset, tail thing that's like under the corset that doesn't go all the way around. It has like an opening in the front. I was just trying to find a fabric that worked at Joann's that was pink. I found this fabric and it was literally perfect. I also had to get super sheer tulle to make the sleeves. It's kind of hard to tell, but it is the same exact pink color as this, so it matches perfectly. That leaves us with a corset. The corset was actually one of the hardest things to find. I went to deep diving on a lot of my thrifting apps that I have. I found this pink corset that is vintage from the early 2000s. You guys will see it on me later. I felt like this gave witch vibes. I did want to try to make a hat. Got like a light pink felt material. I ordered a broom. I ordered my shoes. I also did order a hat from Etsy. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make the hat or not, and you guys will see both how they turned out. I used a sewing machine a really long time ago. I was like 9 years old or something like that. I tried to do it with my grandma and I actually got the hang of it a little bit, but I gave up because it was just like too difficult for me. I hated threading the bobbin and it took forever, and this was also on a very old sewing machine, so it was like very finicky. My other grandma actually gave me a sewing machine for Christmas a few years back and I just kind of like never used it, but I actually am going to be using it for the first time in this video. I got the hang of it super quickly. It took me forever to thread the freaking bobbin, but I finally got it. I'm going to show you me making it, and also this is not a tutorial whatsoever. This is me just showing you me doing it. Like I said, this isn't a tutorial, but I just want to explain kind of what is happening in these sped up clips. So pretty much I'm folding in the edges so it's not like the frayed edge, sewing that together so it's a lot more seamless and looks more put together and professional. And I actually ended up redoing this entire piece. I wanted there to be pleats in the skirt and I didn't really think ahead that the pleats make the waistline way shorter, so I had to end up doing all of this over, pin the pleats into place, and then I sew that, and then later on I'm going to sew this onto the inside of the bottom of the corset. And then honestly for the sleeves I kind of just wung it, measured out my arms, and I obviously wanted them bigger than my arms. I measured like the shoulder arm length on the dress to make sure it fit around, and I actually had to do these 2 separate times because I measured it wrong the first time. I just sewed all of it together, put it inside out, and then I just sewed it directly to the dress inside out so you couldn't see the seam. I made this hat, and I know I already said I bought a hat, but I kind of wanted to make one just in case if that one doesn't work out. I'm really proud of myself, and I'm actually gonna link the video that I followed. Right now I'm doing a blind hem stitch to stitch this last part up of the hat. It probably took me like an hour altogether, if not a little less if you're more experienced. One thing that I did differently than her video was I added foam inside of like the brim of the hat. This is the final result. I put like a wire in here so I can kind of like, it's like malleable a little bit. This is like the issue with witch hats. Even when I buy them, they never sit where I want them. finally Halloween. Happy Halloween. Even though everyone's gonna be watching this after Halloween, I finally get to wear my costume. I'm not going to like a party or anything. It's also a Tuesday, you know, all the parties already happened. I'm gonna go spend time with my family and pass out Halloween candy. I have quite a bit to do. I gotta go take a shower, blow dry my hair. I wanted to dye my hair extensions a little bit darker to match my hair. And then I have to do my makeup, get the costume on, get all ready. Also, I wanted to do my nails to kind of match the costume. So I honestly just made my nails look like naturally long. I have a video on this. I feel like long oval nails just kind of give a witch vibe. And my boyfriend gets home from work at 4 p.m. I don't know if I can do all this in 4 hours, honestly. I take forever to do everything. Let's go start getting ready. I'm gonna put a little bit of hair oil in my roots, and I just got a new bottle of one of my favorites. This is the one that I like to use when I'm only gonna leave it in for like 30 minutes to an hour. But if I'm gonna use like rosemary oil, I do like to let that one sink in for like 3 to 4 hours. But I don't want my hair to be dry, and man, has my skin and my hair been so much more dry the last like 2 weeks, and the inside of my nose because of the weather. I have some Redken EQ glosses, and I have one that is like, I think kind of similar to my hair color. The extensions I have right now are way too blonde. I think I'm going to wash them and put the glosses on when they're wet so it doesn't stick as much. And I've actually thought about doing this to my whole head to make my whole head like kind of the same color, but I kind of like the grown out blonde. I don't know, I feel like it looks good and it like looks like low-key natural. I'm so excited to see like the final result of this costume. Before we go to my parents' house, we're gonna stop by this like little park that has a lot of trees and stuff to hopefully take like really good pictures of the outfit. I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but people went so hard this Halloween. My TikTok has literally been the funniest thing ever with people's costumes. People were so creative this year. I feel like we haven't had a year where people have been like this creative. I want you guys to tell me in the comments what was your costume this year if you dressed up, and what has been your favorite costume that you've ever done. I definitely still think my Lucille Ball costume was the most iconic that I've ever done, and I definitely want to recreate that. We're gonna let that sit in for as long as I'm doing the extensions. So this is the color of them now. The ends are just a little too bright. While those are sitting, I'm gonna let them sit for like 20-ish minutes and then rinse them. I'm gonna go hop in the shower and wash my hair. Pretty darn similar. It is a teensy bit of a different tone. This is still more cool toned, but it'll do. I'd rather get my own hair done first than trying to get those done because I don't even know if I'm gonna have time. I'm just gonna put deodorant on because I always sweat like so much whenever I blow dry my hair. I kind of need to do an updated blowout routine because I've kind of changed a few things around. I'm first gonna just rough dry my hair. I think that's good for the rough dry. I'm just gonna be doing like a normal blowout, but towards my face with the Dyson Airwrap. Hair is done, and I think that took me like 40 minutes. Honestly, that's not that bad. It is time for makeup. I'm first just prepping skin so everything will look hydrated. My face gets so red just by rubbing product on it. Also, this pimple throughout today has just slowly gotten more and more to the surface, and I want to pop it, but I can't. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Hydrating Primer. I just got this new foundation by Hourglass. It might be a little pale, but I want to test it out. And then I also got the foundation brush. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ink? Me and Tyler went to the pet store the other day where we actually got Binks. They were having another like kitten cat adoption, and they had this cute little white girl cat, and she was probably like the same age as Binks now. Oh yeah, that's pale. That's not gonna work. Is it though? When you look at my neck, why is it so frickin' hard to just get the right shade? You know, the lights in the store are different, and I look more pale, or I get home and it's like the wrong shade. Like, I know. I mixed 2 shades of the Giorgio Armani foundation. That'll work. And I just want a little coverage to even out my skin tone a little bit. This brush is the Hourglass Soft Glow Foundation brush. And I like it because it's not making any streaks, none of the hairs are coming out. And I like the size of it. It's not like super big. And it has like an angle so you can get in like your eye area and all like the creases. We have a base. My lips are literally burning from how dry they are. I'm gonna add some Vaseline. Going in with Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. This is like such a good product, but it's like the messiest product ever. Every single year, like high school started and after, I've always had like the worst FOMO. I honestly think that's like the best I can explain it. During Halloween, especially Halloween, just because I am not a party person, but I've always like wanted to be. I went through a little smoking stage, but honestly I had like a really bad experience the last time I did it and had like really bad panic attack, and I've just been scared to do it ever since. So I don't really smoke that much, but it does make me anxious to be around it now because I've had such bad panic attacks. I am not too big on alcohol because, you know, of the whole fear of throw up thing. Pretty much just asking to throw up. And honestly, I'm pretty against alcohol. Don't take this as shaming anyone, because whenever somebody says they don't like alcohol or they don't participate in drinking, people like take it as in they're like shaming people for drinking, and I'm like, no, I just don't get it. Don't get the waking up the next day and feeling like shit, also feeling like shit when you're drinking. Like my stomach hurts really bad from alcohol. I get the whole being drunk thing and it's fun, but it got old after like a few times after I did it. I was like, yeah, I kind of wish I just never even drank. And I kind of just don't like the party scene. Like, hey, if there was a Halloween party out there where me and a bunch of friends could get dressed up, decorate for a party, have a bunch of kind of like a potluck, like with a bunch of Halloween foods, dancing to music all night and just talking to people, literally without drinking, I would go. I have been to like 1 or 2 parties in my life. Every single time I go, I just 10 minutes in, I want to go home. But I want to go to parties. Every single time I see a party, I'm like, that looks so fun. There's always some sort of drama at a party with certain people there. Then there's the people that are super drunk, like throwing up, and I'm not down for that. And then there's the people that are trying to get you to drink, and if you say you don't want to drink, they're like, oh, just like a little bit. Being around drunk people when you're not drunk is not fun. I don't care what people say. And the more I get older, the more I'm just really happy that I didn't go to parties when I was in high school. Even though, yes, I wish I did have like crazy stories. I'm acting like I'm like 50 years old. I'm literally 22 years old. So I am an old lady inside. I have said this since I was like 12 years old. I actually pretty much do everything an old lady does. I just want to stay at home and do crafts and paint my ceramics and crochet, knit, embroider, draw, watch Hallmark Christmas movies, and bake. I'm pretty much already there. I've been doing that since my beginning memories. My grandma's like taught me how to crochet when I was like freaking 5. But this costume kind of like inspired me to start sewing, so I think I'm gonna look into my nearest Joann's if they have like sewing clubs. You know, I'm always complaining about trying to make friends, and I feel like that would be a great way to make friends. I just want to meet people that like have the same interests as me. Like, tell me that wouldn't be so fun to hang out with a friend all day and just do crafts. I have no idea how I got on this topic when I was talking about alcohol. I don't even remember the last time I've been drunk. I can tell you guys the first time that I ever drank. I was 19 and one of my boyfriend's cousins was getting married. There was a little gathering the night before. I had never drank and I wanted to, like really bad. I want to experience it. Everybody does it and I want to know what it's like to be drunk. Obviously though, I was not of age and I am not condoning underage drinking. Majority of people I know drank before 21, and that is kind of just the reality of it. Let's be real. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, no one drinks under 21. Every single person I know drank under 21. So we were at this gathering party thing before the wedding, and since it was a wedding, they had like specific drinks. You know how you have like a wedding drink? I think it was Malibu. I think it was coconut rum and orange juice, something like that, and coconut. Someone that was of age got one for me. Didn't taste like alcohol. at all. And this girl, shout out to her, she just kept bringing them to me. Like when she was done, she would just take from my hand and put another one in, and I'm like, thanks, girl. I don't think she knew this was my first time ever getting drunk either. These were like those like chunky wine glasses looking things. They were not small amount. 4.5 down. Holding my 5th one, it's getting to me. I'm gonna be honest, my first time ever getting drunk was a really fun experience. There was music, there was a bunch of people there that I trusted and liked, and it was very fun. The next morning was not it. And at the wedding, like after the reception, they had more drinks and it was tequila. I have never been able to drink tequila after that because it just makes me want to yak. I don't remember a lot of that night, so I don't know if that's blacking out or not. I don't really know what blacking out is. Is blacking out just like you blacked out, like you don't remember? Because I remember bits and pieces of like coming out of it. The drinks tasted so awful just because they were so like tequila-y, like alcohol-y. I just like slammed that shit down. I had like 3 or 4 of those. It was low-key a lot in a cup. We were dancing all on the dance floor, and that's where I like kind of like black out. But I remember one moment the next day was so freaking nervous about, because this wedding we went to was like an influencer type of thing. Like they were taking a lot of pictures and videos and stuff. This is the whitest shit ever, okay? Like literally the whitest thing ever. All white people in a circle with bright side on, and I had a dress on, and we were going like this at the base. We were all jumping. My titty just flies completely out of the dress, and I'm like like trying to put it in, and I was like so overthinking the next day. I'm like, someone has a picture of my boob. There was so many pictures being taken all night. Nothing was ever said about it, and I don't think anybody knew. Anyways, then I don't really remember that much until we were walking to the car, crawled into the back seat. My dress, since it was flying open so much, just like walking, I rolled duct tape to make it double-sided and put it right here. I didn't have boob tape. I taped like all the way right here. Like some of my areola was on there. All of my freaking skin was gone. It was all ripped off. But I didn't feel it that much. Like I obviously felt a little bit of a sting to like look there, but I didn't really feel it that much because I was drunk. I've only gotten that drunk like that time, and then one other time. I don't know. I get it to like loosen up every once in a while, but also I have this issue with anything kind of like that, like drugs and alcohol. I mean, I've only smoked weed for drugs, but the next like week or 2, I'm like really depressed. And I don't know if anybody else like deals with that. It's like a long-term kind of thing for me. And I will say it is pretty easy to like, when you're at a function where everyone else is drinking, to lose that mindset. And then it's like, oh, well, maybe I'll have like 1 drink. Kaylee, 1 drink in, is gonna want 5 more drinks. When we got our cat Vader, when we got him, the lady told us this thing that just made me feel so bad. They don't let black cats be sold like in October and near Halloween, because people will get them and use them in like sacrificial things, and they will kill the black kitties. And I'm just like, how could you even do that? But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get a black cat, because they are not picked as much. And I never understand. Vader's like our sweetest cat out of all of them too. Like, look at this video. Look at this video of him begging his dad for ice cream. He's so cute. Now that's a thing to add on to my old lady thing, that I'm a cat lady. I'm adding a little bit of brown eyeshadow just on my like lash lines, because I just want to give a little something something to the makeup look, so it's not just like the same thing I do every day. It just makes my eyes pop a little bit more. When I actually want to do like quite a bit of mascara, this is the reality. It makes your lashes look better when you like push them up against your eyes. I could go for like a red lip.
With the pink witch costume? Yeah, I feel like there's so many options.
Because I was thinking about like a darker like purple or something.
No.
These RMS lip liners are the best lip liners I have ever used. And I like going in with this shade, a teeny bit darker than my natural lips. RMS Beauty Go Nude Lip Pencil, and this is Sunset Nude. And it has this little brush on the end. Perfectly, if you just go like that, it like blends it, and then it kind of like contours your lips, like how people put bronzer around their lips. It helps my lips look a little bit bigger than they are. I have this hourglass lip thing. Does that work? I don't know. I'm gonna take my hair out now before I get dressed. I think I'm gonna put the extensions in. I know that it was kind of like a waste since I dyed them. I do not have enough time to style them. The roots are like still kind of wet, and I didn't think about that. I should have done that like yesterday. Oh, okay, blowout. I'm going to go get the outfit on. I also put tights on. Probably gonna be a little bit chillier tonight too, and I feel like it matches the vibe. Now it is time for the corset and this long thing. Okay, we got it on. I love this. This is so pretty. I low-key kind of like it with the shoulders like off like that too. And I didn't even really plan for that to happen, but they kind of slip off now that the corset is on. This is the one I got off Etsy. I can't do the one that I made because it flops over. This one just stays straight up and it just looks so much better. Angle change because my camera's gonna die and I need to plug it in. This is my hat, and I can kind of form it however I want, but I'm not that mad at it. I actually kind of like my hat. And it matches better. This is cute. The little brown Mary Jane heels, and I don't know, I feel like they go with the vibe. Before we leave, I'm gonna try and get you guys to see the whole fit. This is the whole fit. Look at how cute these shoes are. Yes, they're uncomfortable. This turned out so good. And I made like so much of it. And I just love it because it's not like a costume that you buy. Like you can tell that there was like more put into this one. Here's my broom. Wowie, wowie. I literally cannot wait to go take pictures in this. We have to hurry up. The sun's low-key going down. We're gonna go take some pictures. You can see the pictures on Instagram. Then we're gonna go to my parents' house and have like a nice dinner and stuff, and I don't know if I'm gonna film anything else.
I don't know if you like the way I put my words together, but I need you to stick with me just like some birds of feathers. Or like bricks and scales, hand in hand, dropping corn straight down the well.